Hey everyone, Chomsky here. Just kind of wanted to talk about CVC and kind of how to prep for it. Maybe not necessarily for tomorrow, but moving on to future events and stuff like that. Uh, Again, tomorrow it's going to be a personal rewards CVC, so we want to make sure we can see what's cooking here. And, we see a 2x in faction wars as well as a 2x in arena. So arena, that's going to count live arena, that's going to count regular as well as tag team. So that's pretty awesome that we could see this and get prepped for it, as well as a 2 times forge event. So let's take a look. I got forge here. Um, you can only have 10,000 of these. That's your cap. So ideally, you just want to be capped at it, and I'm not. So that's going to be kind of a struggle bus here, but that's fine. I still have 118, and then because of Arena, and I'll get some of those resources back. So not the worst, but this is an easy resource for points. So say, like, as I tell a lot of people on my Twitch stream, save your resources and you always want to double dip. And this is a perfect double dip opportunity because perception is a really good set in the beginning, mid game, as well as late game. Because 40 accuracy as well as speed on a two-piece set, that's awesome. You could easily deck out your dudes or dudettes with with 120 accuracy and 15 extra speed. That's ginormous if you equip, you know, 6 pieces. But yeah, save your forge stuff until events like this, and you're gonna get buku points. Arena, the simple one is if you're waiting for reset, just wait. After reset, just wait till tomorrow to take care of your 5 arena matches as well as your tag team stuff. What I like to do, since it is a personal reward CVC, I like to waste my tag team points and just tank as much as I can. So this way I get a better matchups here. Sometimes I'll get some of these oneers, and sometimes I get a full boatload stack of them, and those are just easy and simple. So I like that. Simple. Chomsky likes simple. Additionally, with the bazaar, I don't buy the energy until CVC's cooking. So every Tuesday, uh, basically in like 20 something hours, I'll then do this up. I'll grab the energy and the ancient shard as well as some brews, and then I'll use that. And yeah, ideally we want to have a dungeon diving event or something along those lines for tomorrow for that energy to be used. But like we still have ice golem, and even though I'm tapped out there, it would have been nice if I would have saved and waited to pull or do my ice golem until tomorrow, so I could use that energy, get the tournament points as well as CVC points. So we kind of want to maximize as best as we can. Same thing with tag tournament. So tomorrow I'll go a little bit ham on this and grab something here because again we're getting double tag team points as well as CVC points. So that's pretty sweet right there. In addition to the tag team tournament, so that's a nice double dip. And then plus we get to see what our new shiny do. you know, I don't see anything that's going to be necessarily happening uh, moving forward, but we do have Gear Ascension, and usually this is an easy one. I'll use my gems to go nuts here, and yeah, that's fine. Like this, I'm ideally wanting the primal quartz, but I keep on getting barrels instead, so that's fine. Uh, but yeah, I'll use my energy here on Gear Ascension, and and then Champ Training is done. Gear Enhancement's done. We get Gear Hunters, so that kind of doubles up with Ice Golem. That you can do with CVC, so that's a nice triple dip that's out there. It's a shame that champ training doesn't overlap as well because that would have been absolutely ridiculous. That'd have been a quad right there. Uh, and what was the other one? We got faction wars. So again, just wait till tomorrow to do your faction wars, and that's fine. Another easy way to get more points is doing your demon lord. So it sounds simple. A lot of people forget, but this is kind of where you kind of want to go nuts on keys here as long as you have them. Do not waste your gems because it's not worth it. But you just want to make sure that you have at least one key in and ultra nightmare, and then go down the line. Brutal, hard, all that stuff. So this way when you wake up tomorrow or when this goes live, there's an easy 800,000, 2,000 points, that you could have right there. Um, so that's a quick one. You could also, to save time, you could also just do your Hydra keys today before CVCs. This way you spend more time accumulating stuff for CVC. Same thing with Chimera. You could do that today. So this way tomorrow you could spend more time. So doing your faction wars tomorrow, making sure your clan boss is set up. So this way, when you log in and CVC's good to go, you get those points. Arena, you're doing that there, and then especially with Arena for those battles that you do, you get the ability to get more forge material. So this way, you could forge stuff and get points. That's that's a really simple way, regardless of your level, that anybody can do. And I think a lot of people forget or just don't pay attention to that. But those small incremental points, they add up. And right now, I'm just doing it just to, yeah, just essentially to do it. Like I, yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care about these oneers, but I'll do it whenever I see them. And there's another one hovering, so I got it. Uh, Additionally, today is a really easy day since it reset. In case if your Great Hall is not done, like mine's already done, so it doesn't matter. But I'm still accumulating metals. Uh, if you can get to plat now, it's a little bit easier to farm those metals is what I'm getting at. So this way you could get your accuracy and your resistance first, and then you could start, ping ponging wherever you want. But additionally, as a tangent, get your resistance and accuracy going first because that's going to help you out super duper. Um, if you need help with the other areas, that's fine. Like, you know, that's what I did. You know, I foolishly spent the Spider's Den, Demon Lord, Phantom Shogun. Like I've hit the stage now where I'm just tossing stuff in because I have it. You don't get any points in CVC for the area bonuses, but you do for affinity. So if you've saved up your medals, tomorrow and Wednesday will be a great time to bump up your resistance and accuracy when CVC goes live because that's additional points. It's not a lot by any stretch, but it's still there. Many clans have minimum requirements and stuff like that. That just helps to get you there. Additionally, if you do want to book some champs, you can during CVC. There is a lot of points there, but the cautionary tale that I have is that when you're booking your champs, there are what is it? It's champ training tournaments that you can get points for. So not events, but tournaments. You could get points for uh for using books on your champs. So if you are going for the fusion or if you just want to win those events, then yeah, you book them, but there's not going to be an overlap tomorrow. So that's going to be kind of sketch. I would always I always defer to what my clan leader wants, right? If there is a push, then yeah, those points help, but most times, like during CVC, those rewards don't really pan out. Uh, I'd much rather have a champion instead. So I don't want to waste books on a CVC that's not going to be beneficial for me. With that caveat of what my clan leader is pushing for, oftentimes these these rewards, like, they're okay. Like, really, to get 2400 energy, that's going to help me out in in the next event, which just means that it's easier to obtain that fusion. So I definitely want to have the ability to have that in my pocket in addition to some of these trinkets here. And yeah, I'm not expecting like, mythicals out of any of these, but it's also nice to have. Like, if we wind up winning, getting an additional 50 here just gives me another chance of potentially getting, you know, like I really want the death dealer um on my Wukong. That'd be really sweet, man. But the chances of me getting that are very, very slim. But it's still, hope is really dangerous, right? So, again, just the communication aspect between the clan is super essential. We have the very small chat within the game, but really using an outside resource like Discord is going to help you out. So this way you could kind of game plan your CVC appropriately. With that said, Plarium slash Raid will always toss out events that's kind of a gotcha. And tomorrow they're having stuff like, you could get there's an increased chance of getting Edward. Um, yeah, this dude, which okay seems awesome, but like the chances you pulling them are really really slim. So I would not pull shards for CVC whatsoever. Like there's absolutely little point to do that even if you're buying shards, like during the week, shard pulls, oof, you're bound for a lot of disappointment. You know, if if you need to clean up space, that's one thing, but like pulling shards during the week, that's pointless. Save your resources, wait for the summon rush, wait for those events. Like that's really your bread and butter. The same thing could be said about Altar of Souls. You know, hang on to these. You don't need to be pulling them. The points that you get from these is not really reliable. Like, yeah, you could get an eternal and get a 6-star mythical, and those are shit ton of points. But really, getting a 2-star rare is it's a kick in the pants. So not cool. Don't pull them. I'm as a spender, a very I would much rather save my resources as much as I can and wait for those double dips. So we went over arena, faction wars, clan boss, Doom Tower is fine, Curse City. There's a whole lot of resources here that if you've already done it, you've already done it. Let's go to normal. Um, there's not much energy out here. Like there's this little pop that really may not seem like much, but it does help. It saves your gems, essentially. Same thing over here and here. That if you've cleared up to it, just wait till tomorrow uh, to to get those, because energy is essential. Um, and where am I going to be using that energy? Well, it's going to be whatever I could double dip in. So Ice Golem's going to be active tomorrow, as well as the event dungeon. But if you haven't got that fusion piece, those fragments, then do your Ice Golem tomorrow with that energy that you accumulate from Curse City or Grim Forest. So knowing where that energy is only going to help you out, and really just saving it until those events go live is just really really huge. Like I've got almost 2,000 gems, and I may dip down to 1,000. But if I could get that energy back, somehow, that saves me in those gems. So doing whatever's double dippable. I am avoiding Minotaur as much as I can because there's not a lot of points there during CVC. I am really fortunate that I have a 13-second Sand Devil, not Sand Devil, it is Sand Devil team. So I'll definitely be doing some Sand Devil stuff because Gear Ascension's out there, as well as just the points for CVC. So definitely doing that. I am not Ideally, I am not doing any Fire Night just because it takes time. I have a 2-minute team, ideally, but really on average it's about 3 minutes. So that's way too long. In that time frame, I could do a shit ton more Sand Devil and get more points. So I definitely want to be as fast as I can. So that's that's kind of like my game plan here. In addition to that, like I like Grim Forest a lot, especially when we could actually see what's going on. So even though it's random, we kind of have an idea that there are going to be energy pods out there. So just try to avoid getting them while you're going through Grim Forest. Use them appropriately, and hopefully that helps you out. With Dragon or Ice Golem or whatever. you know, but we also want to be cognizant of it. So just, you know, I know that there's a mentality of hurry up and get everything and then putz around, but we could also be strategic about it and wait. So that covers that. Additionally, we do have the clan shop resetting tomorrow, which means a reset of clan quests. So if you're doing Ice Golem, usually there's something there. If you're doing Dragon, whatever, just be cognizant of this. This is really, it's you're already doing it, so why not? So just wait. Um, yeah, I'll grab these potions. That's fine. Usually energy here, it's 100 coins for 100. So that's not bad. A thousand coins for 1,000 energy. I'd make that trade. So just accumulate what you can when you can, and CVC is not that bad. I'll give him a shout out. JR Star 3 has a nice has a nice compilation of CVC stuff. How easy and obtainable. I think he did 200,000 points as a free to play even before sweating on anything. So it's obtainable for sure. If it strikes you to do champ training, which I do not recommend necessarily during CVC, personal reward CVC, unless there is an event. One of the simpler ways to do it is take care of your fusibles. Like this dude, you know, get them built out so this way when you hop in like the Relic Keeper fusions, I want to make sure that I have enough ready so this way when there is a champ chase, like I could easily fuse them and get those points rather than going through shards. Because again, shards are a huge currency and those events. I wanna minimize using those until those moments. So I want to save as much as I can. So, get these guys ready. Bring them into those dungeons or whatever when there's champ training. And I don't think it's on. I could look at the calendar, but I also want to be surprised. Uh, I highly doubt that there's going to be one tomorrow. But in case there is one on Wednesday, you know, bring your fusibles. Level them up appropriately in campaign or in the dungeons, and it's going to help you out in the long run. Again, what you do when events are not running will only set you up for when those events do run. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this helps. It's a quick, I mean, this is, geez, 20 minutes. Um, it's a quick video about the mind of someone doing CVC, and personal reward CVC and how to get easy points. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, find me on Twitch, Gnome on my Chomsky on Twitch, and hang out. I'm usually in the mornings, like 7 in the morning Central Standard Time. Love to hear from you. Take care.